mate. Good afternoon to you, Catherine. How are you?
Wonderful, thanks.
And Catherine is right, or should I? Do you prefer to go by another variant of Catherine?
Catherine.
Catherine is spot on then. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for being here at the Meetup. We've met before, we've seen you here before, and you are settling into life in San Martinho de Porto. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going. It's a challenge. It's a process.
Yes.
It's one kind of sometimes overwhelming.
Yeah.
Sometimes amazing.
Yeah.
All of those things.
I was talking to Baddy. She's had quite the challenge buying property here in Portugal, and was telling us, how to adjust, but possibly, change your expectations. Is that what you've had to do? What would you say to other people going through the process that you're going through at the moment?
Honestly, I think we're early enough in the process that we're still just day to day trying to figure out how to buy groceries. And,
oh, wow. Yeah.
Literally how to find cornstarch in the grocery store, because it's not called cornstarch.
It is not. Is it? What is it called?
It's Xenia.
That's right.
And then it's also like Arello de something else.
Yes, and it has some very nice packaging though. Once you do find it,
yes, once
like
you know,
an old-fashioned looking box of cornstarch.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
I was looking for like the square plastic container, like in the
no.
U.S., but
no,
nothing is the same, which is great and difficult all at the same time. I like that it's different. I like that it's new, but it's brain tiring.
I get it. I totally get it. I have my latest theory of a successful migration is a 3-stage one, which is what's what now, and what next. And you sound like you're in what's what.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Absolutely.
You've had to earn all your stripes in the what's what of migration, visas, currency exchange, all those basics, insurance, dealing with CEF and so on. And now you're into the domestic what's what.
Yeah, we're getting there. Our visas were approved today.
Yes. Oh,
so
yes.
That's a huge...
I saw you just after.
Yes.
And the big smiles on your faces.
We just got our email. Our visas have been approved. So now we need to return to the States and get our visas and come back. But we couldn't wait for that to get here. We had to get here first. And now we'll go back and do that and be back as quick as the process will allow us. And then we'll begin the CEF process.
Congratulations.
And I'm a little intimidated by that as well.
Well, that's the next bit, isn't it, of the what's what, let alone what now and what next. So yeah, one stage at a time, right? What's what.
Absolutely.
And I think it's safe to say you're at the cornstarch threshold. Is that right?
Yes. My girlfriend from the Netherlands, I've been doing a blog, and so I posted about that.
Yes.
And my girlfriend from the Netherlands immediately messaged me back, and her husband was in the worked for the World Bank, and they've lived all over the world. And she was extremely empathetic and understanding about trying to figure out the names of things at the grocery store. Yeah. And sometimes you just have to walk around, and not only are the names different, but the store is organized differently.
Yes.
How they've decided to categorize things, I have not yet quite completely figured out, but that's true.
Seriously, after a few years here, I it's not like plain sailing for me either. And we've all got our different, approaches to the retail assault of the week. But you can't take for granted that it's ever going to be easy.
No.
And isn't it funny? It's the little things, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's it. It's like the big things we actually, getting your flights and finding a place to live and all those big things weren't all that difficult.
Yes.
But yes, just getting food to eat each day, and, whether you go to the grocery store or if you go to a restaurant, we're in a small enough town that everything is not translated into English. So Google Translate or some translate app is my best friend.
Yeah.
And I type words in. That's like he got here, they were having terrible flooding in Lisbon 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And so they had all kinds of signs on the highways that I felt they were there because we needed to know that information. But we didn't know what it said. And in fact, the day that we arrived, we landed in Lisbon about 10 in the morning, and by the time you get your rental car, get on the road, it's pouring rain, it's foggy. It was challenging environmentally.
Hell yeah.
But as well, we didn't have internet. So we couldn't have Google Maps. We didn't have a phone number yet. So we didn't have that.
Being in the 1960s.
Oh my God. It was a giant step back. It was
all the things you take for granted.
It is.
Yeah.
When you just want to Google the address where I need to get to in all this terrible weather.
Yeah.
And you cannot.
Yeah.
So we actually on the fly upgraded our car to have the nav system because we didn't know how else we were going to find.
I bet you were really pleased with yourselves at that point, weren't you?
I was kind of kicking myself over the price, but very pleased that we're going to sleep met another challenge.
We're actually going to have a roof tonight.
We had a minute of success there.
And you know what? What occurred to me when you were talking about cornstarch and a lack of technology on certain occasions is these are survival issues that get triggered, aren't they? Whether you're going to eat and whether you're going to have a roof over.
Well, when I met you 2 weeks ago at this meetup and you asked me, how's it going? And what I said to you was, well, I'm having a little bit of an emotional challenge and it's difficult. And first thing you said to me was, well, you go through a grieving process when you relocate like this. And I actually wrote a blog about that and said that, that you said that to me, and I Googled it and read up, and my daughter has a master's degree in psychology, but yet I didn't think of that. So
the prophet is never known in their own land. But yes, it's all there in the world of psychology, isn't it? The grieving process.
It's so easy to understand once you
when the
recognize what's happening to you.
Yes.
And it is absolutely true that is what happens when you are a stranger in a strange land. You miss, I just wanted an American breakfast yesterday, quite honestly.
Totally understand that. But
I just woke up and wanted it.
I understand it from the point of view of an English breakfast. So what would you is it good? Is it what you do this process of telling what breakfast is?
No, it's just bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
But here, breakfast is pastry and coffee, which is also delicious.
Yes.
But sometimes
you didn't
unexpectedly, I just woke up and was like, I really just want to go to my local breakfast diner and have what I regularly have, and I don't want to have to think about it, and I don't want to have to acquire the ingredients. I just want to have it.
You know what? I think this is why people are a bit unkind to expats and immigrants and foreigners, and they're thinking, oh, that's such a first world problem, not being able to get... But you see,
100%.
But on one level, yes, but on another level, it's not about the breakfast, is it? It's about wanting to feel at home. Just anyone and everyone with a beating heart and a little ounce of compassion could recognize that it's not actually about, for the English people, the baked beans, or for the American people, the Hershey bar or whatever it is that you miss. It's not about the thing, is it? It's about the association.
Yes.
And we shut people up a slack when they call for the things from that make them feel comfortable and safe and be a bit more understanding.
We try so hard, I think, because we come here knowing we're entering into something that is foreign to us, but we've made this choice. We want to be here.
Yeah.
So we are attempting to accommodate and learn and assimilate into this.
Quite right.
But once in a while, you just, out of the blue, not like you thought of it, it just came to you that
from a deep place.
It is that just need to feel comfort.
Yes.
And when you're, if you're in your homeland, that comfort might be just wanting to snuggle up with your pillow and take an extra hour of sleep.
Yes.
But when you're here, it's just, I just want to taste something that's effortless.
Yeah, I get it. I totally understand that.
It's a 15-minute experience,
and
but I had it.
No, I agree. And whilst it seems like, what? American breakfast, it's not the thing. It's what that thing evokes and supports and provides to the person missing it. Now, you've mentioned your blog a couple of times. This is the famous blog which Bob is part of.
Yes, Bob does get exposed in the blog. I mention him so that people don't forget about him.
Yes.
It's my blog. It is Portugal 2023-202. 2023.wordpress.com, and it's just my attempt to share with my friends and anyone else who's interested my sort of daily experience.
Well, I think people will and are interested. So can I have that address again?
Yes, it's Portugal 2023.wordpress.com.
As in 2023.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Here we are.
Okay. All right. Yeah, absolutely. I got a little bit of a and other.
There is a blog about that.
Yeah. What else can people expect on your blog? And are we okay to read from it on the morning show from time to time?
Oh, certainly.
I'd love to do.
Yep. I'm there. I'm naked and exposed, and just it's whatever I think and feel.
Yes.
I'm just.
Well, that's how a blog should be,
right? It's really just for me. It's anyone else who enjoys it, that's fine. It doesn't matter. But I just. My friends, I won't lie. My friends are like, "You're doing what? You're going where? How? I'm sure you experienced the same thing. People said, "You're what?
Yes.
You're moving where?
Yeah.
And they're all.
That's true, isn't it?
I'm not brave. I'm just.
Sometimes we really don't feel like that.
Well, you know what? I want my great grandchildren to say, like, you great granny Catherine, she just moved to Portugal.
Yeah.
And I want them to say it with awe.
Yes. And and the book that they have in their hands.
That is my blog.
Yeah. Well, that's if they do have books in those days. I don't know. It would probably be like a tablet or something.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Or there may be a book resurgence by that time.
I certainly hope so.
What other highlights are there? What are the things that are on your blog where people have said what and where?
Well, I started off talking about and sort of the things apply for our large luggage. Large luggage.
The large luggage.
The biggest you can get.
Article,
because you want to as you can.
Yeah.
So, I paid extra for the plane ticket that allows you to check 2 large pieces of luggage. Absolutely.
Rather than shipping too much stuff, bring it with you, right?
Carry it with you. It's included in the price of the ticket.
Yeah.
And on tap, they were delightful and asked us if we wanted to check a 3rd piece of luggage, which if we had known, would have picked a bigger bag.
That could be useful to other people.
But
then
it was
pieces.
phenomenal. I don't know why they did that, but they took a 3rd piece, and so we had almost nothing to carry on the plane because I had, my 2 check bags, my carry-on bag, a purse, another bag, and Bob was saying, don't they? I'm like, they'll have to wait for me if they make me. I'll shove it all into another bag.
Yes.
But take as much as you can bend the rules to bring.
I think I was behind you in that queue. I remember that.
Perhaps.
Yes. Yeah.
So I bought huge pieces of luggage on Facebook Marketplace for $25 because you don't want to spend $300 on a piece of luggage that you can use once or twice.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have this enormous luggage that's fit in our 100 square foot apartment.
So maybe for somebody flying TAP back to America might be interested on that.
We're gonna take it back and refill it.
Of course you are.
Again.
Yeah.
Fill them all up, bring them all back again.
That journey in all sorts of people's hands.
Yeah, they could, and we will pass them on when we are done. We've got everything here.
Well, that's good to know.
Pass them on to someone else who needs to bring as much as they can, many spoons as they can fit in their bag.
Yes,
whatever those
always
essentials
makes for
are.
a good X-ray.
Yeah.
So this is the beginnings of the blog. Getting ready to come, the luggage.
Absolutely, getting ourselves to the airport with all that luggage, because that's a whole other thing. Is how do you get all those bags to an airport? Because we lived on the Eastern Shore, Maryland, and we flew out of Dulles Airport, which is on the far side of Washington. I had my daughter rent a van
to take you
to and get us with all our bags.
Wow.
And drive us 2 hours to Dulles Airport and drop us off.
This is what your children will be saying, isn't it? She did that.
Yes, we did. But it was
got that picture of them by the van.
We do. We took pictures. They're on the blog. So. And then getting here and figuring out everything and the cornstarch and just all the little language things and the day-to-day stuff. And I did a blog about the most blog was about the grieving process and recognizing
Wow.
that I was in the midst of all of that, and that it was okay that I burst out crying because my brain is from trying to figure out words all the time, every minute of the day, and you can't even watch TV without trying to figure out. There's just challenges to it all. It is, and you want to be doing it. So you almost sabotage yourself that, like, why am I getting upset? It's just tiring. But it's good to know that I'm going through, or to remind myself that I'm going through a normal process that everybody goes through. Whether because you lost your dog or you moved to a new place, whatever, you're going to grieve what you've lost and celebrate what you've attained. But then you're going to remember what you have left behind, whether it be friends or things or all of that.
Fascinating.
So it is. So it's a process.
And we have our different ways, don't we, of dealing with it? Because Bob
is not upset.
Doesn't appear to be. Proverbial swan, isn't he? Just gliding across the lake.
Yes.
I dare say his feet are paddling away underneath the surface. But it does affect people. It does affect people differently, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. I think his
he's outsourced
British stoicism.
Okay, so
he may a little bit more of stiff upper lip, and he doesn't get upset like that. But I think he also just doesn't understand that it's upsetting because he's not upset.
You know what?
He flows.
The day he is desperate for baked beans, that might be.
I already have those. That, you know what? At the what is that? The Labrador.
Yes,
you know this, right? Oh, yeah. So we have baked beans.
Got the baked beans. He's sorted, isn't he?
He is. Okay. He's got his instant pickle. The only thing we can't find is Cheshire cheese.
Really?
And I don't think we're going to find that.
Could that be the trigger point?
It could happen.
Okay. Well, we're watching. We're watching, and we report Bob through the Cheshire cheese moment.
We did have one interesting experience day before yesterday. Again, cool, but we got stuck in the elevator in our apartment building.
Ooh.
It stopped.
Okay.
And we had to push that emergency button.
Yes, which is ringing a bell in Braga.
Right. Well, to somebody who speaks Portuguese.
Yes.
And so you can say help really loud, but that doesn't mean that they understand you. And indeed, he was able to convey to us that he did not understand us, and then hung up.
No.
Oh yeah, and we're like,
sorry, can't help.
Is he doing it? Is he not? Is he calling for help? Is he not calling for help? And so we kind of stood there for about 10 minutes.
Wow.
And then pushed the button again and decided maybe we should just
be a bit more assertive about being stuck.
My phone wouldn't work in the elevator, so I couldn't Google the words.
Oh my word.
I know. I was like, I don't know what to do here.
Wow.
But it lasted. It was a 35-minute trauma.
But you
it
don't
wasn't
know
that bad.
Do you? You don't know that.
You don't. Well, we had the discussion. Would you eat me? Would I eat you? What are we going to do? Who dies first? We did. We didn't waste any time. We figured we'd do it while it was still friendly.
Right. Wow. Okay, but I mean, not an untraumatic experience in any culture, but with added challenges here in this one. And here you are, both of you today,
loving it. You make it easier.
Loving it again. It's amazing. So if I may draw you into the future, the what's what, the what now and what next, and I think there's a kind of connection resonance with the grief process here, with those sort of stages of realization or transformation of your life's journey. But looking forward to the future, what will be your what next, do you think? Once you're all settled, what do you hope to do here, if anything?
I told Bob today as we were walking through town looking at real estate, just what ifing.
Oh, that's your what next then?
Yeah, well, I was saying, this is the next 30 years, however long we live. I'm 62, Bob is 70, so we got 30 maybe years.
Yes.
His mom was 90 something. You know how those British women, they don't tell their age.
No, that's right.
You know
find
that.
Out
so
one
we
day,
don't know how old his mother was, but somewhere in her 90s.
Yes,
something. Yes. So I'm thinking he's going to live for a while.
Great. But that's the big project next then, obviously, finding somewhere to live.
Yeah, well, we've got a year lease, and we can stay longer. We can renew. We can do whatever we want to do. Have to decide, do we want to stay in this community? Mm-hmm. Do we want to go somewhere. I don't know. I love it here, but
Yeah.
you know, I've had 3 weeks here, so what's not to love in 3 weeks?
You're truly in the famous San Martinho de Porto syndrome, aren't you? And it may well be that it stays that way and this is the place for you. Or
why not?
according to the law of San Martinho de Porto syndrome, you go somewhere else and think, hold on a minute, this might be it. But then there's a week after that we go somewhere else and that might be
exactly.
it. So enjoy that journey. And can we just have your blog address one more time? And let's make sure we feature it on the Good Morning Portugal show as well. But your WordPress site is?
It's portugal2023.wordpress.com.
Perfect. It's been really wonderful talking to you and getting a sense of your journey and how you engaged with Good Morning Portugal before and now coming to the meetup as well. So you know where we are on a Wednesday.
Yes, I do.
And you know where we are as a community. So make sure we stay in touch, please. And I really look forward to sharing more sort of cornstarch moments from the blog, if I may.
Well, thank you for your efforts in bringing this community together, because you make it easier, more comfortable, less stressful for all of us
thank you.
by facilitating this.
Oh, that's lovely to hear.
You.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Lovely to hear that. Thank you very much indeed.